Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh, Baha Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Baha Hashem, Kurhak Kadash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. A double honors to your apostles and elders and bishops of GMS, Great Millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching this truth and none but the truth. In the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Bashem Shah, trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called black Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? They be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called Chinese person or a so-called white person. Anyway, got some videos lined up, just a bunch of random stuff that's going on around the world. Most of it in America. Most news is, or most videos is related to America. But anyway, I'm gonna play these videos. I'm gonna get into the scripture my best ability, say whatever God say through Spirit and power. But Yahweh Shema Shah, the Holy Spirit, the Kurhak Dash, Lord willing be on me. Let's get it.
A video recently went viral online. In it, a Chinese woman is being led away by a police officer, nervously talking on her phone. Nearby, two Chinese men are arguing passionately with the police. One of them, a man wearing glasses, is especially defiant. At first, he refuses to put on handcuffs, acting confident and unafraid. The police move in to restrain him. Eventually, he is subdued and handcuffed alongside the other Chinese man. Throughout the incident, government staff are recording the entire scene. This all happened in Ghana, Africa. In mid-May, the Ghana Standards Authority suddenly raided several Chinese-owned mattress factories. During the inspection, authorities arrested multiple Chinese owners on the spot and shut down the factories. The companies involved include Yin Yuanjia
Look on that bitch face.
On the spot and shut down the factories. The companies involved include Yin Yuanjia Limited, Maoda Limited, Hesheng Company, Karusini Mattress Manufacturer, and Asano Services. The Ghanaian authorities accuse them of cutting corners, using substandard filling materials instead of the proper ones. Fire safety is even worse. Polystyrene is highly flammable. If exposed to open flames, it ignites instantly, releasing
Is this supposed to be a bed? It's fucking styrofoam.
deadly smoke. Authorities are particularly angry at Yin Yuanjia. Back in October last year, it had been ordered to stop production. Instead of complying, the company removed the official seal and resumed operations. This was a
Man, them niggas said, fuck you. Now try that shit in China, they gonna get, you know.
direct challenge to government authority. So this time, Ghana acted decisively, shutting the factories and making arrests.
And Moab, I think they can do whatever the fuck they wanna do over there in Ghana or any parts of Africa.
The bigger story here isn't just about a few mattress factories. It's a pattern repeating across much of China's low-end manufacturing sector in Africa. Over the past decade or so, many Chinese business owners have pictured Africa as the Wild West, full of gold but with no rules. To them, it meant minimal regulation, extremely cheap labor, huge demand, and little competition. So, a wave of low-barrier manufacturing followed. Mattresses, foam, plastic basins, cardboard boxes, food and drinks, small appliances, building materials, personal care products, light bulbs, you name it, someone was making it. Almost overnight, Africa became dotted with African versions of Chinese factories. Industry insiders say many of these operators just replicate what they used to do in small workshops and counties in China. In the past, Africa's weak industrial base allowed foreign factories a lot of leeway. Governments tolerated almost anything if it brought investment and jobs. But that's changing. Local media, social platforms, and consumer awareness are rising. More domestic businesses are complaining about unfair competition. Governments have started enforcing rules more strictly. Many African countries are now upgrading their regulatory systems. Companies that grew aggressively on low costs and low standards are facing concentrated risks.
From the #1 rated brand in
Well, since the ad came, let's get to the next one. Next one, talking about the video.
Under growing financial pressure, many delivery workers in China are becoming physically and emotionally exhausted. On May 9th, a courier in Zhejiang
Moab catching hell, bro. He like, oh no,
Zhang broke down in tears while delivering food. One video showed a customer who did not provide a clear address would not answer phone calls, leaving the delivery worker searching for more than 20 minutes. After finally finding the location,
Now y'all fed up.
the worker threw the food on the ground, and the two sides began arguing. One commenter wrote, "Delivery workers today face all kinds of harassment and unreasonable
Now, you know they gonna get some low credit scores. Oh yeah. They gonna get some low ass credit scores.
treatment. It really can push someone to the brink at any moment." Another comment read, "When these emotional breakdowns continue to build, eventually they can erupt like a volcano."
Oh man, look at this shit. He all in the fucking rain, in the storm, in the typhoon with this bullshit.
On January 17th this year, a delivery worker in Guangxi was seen delivering food with his child
Oh, god dang, with his baby.
during the winter. Many people watching online said they felt sympathy for him. Chinese authorities had earlier suppressed a documentary that exposed the reality faced by delivery workers. In April this year, Sanlian Life Lab released a 28-minute documentary titled The Life of China's Food Delivery Riders in 2026. After it sparked widespread discussion,
Now, I thought they were supposed to be using drones by this time.
authorities ordered it removed. The documentary focused on Yuxinzhuang village near Beijing's North 6 Ring Road, a place known as Delivery Worker Village. Yuxinzhuang village is often the first stop for many people who move to Beijing looking for work. The area has hundreds of apartment buildings and a maze of narrow roads. It's said that delivery fees have continued to fall, from more than 10 yuan per order in the early days to just 3 to 5 yuan now. At the same time, the number of riders has multiplied. Some workers asked why. As algorithms become smarter, the hours keep getting longer, or earning money becomes harder. More than half the delivery workers still working in Beijing are young
Hey man, a lot of you Americans feeling this shit. I know some of y'all out there know how these people feel over in China.
people from rural areas around the capital, most of them from rural Hubei. For many, delivering food was not a choice they wanted to make, but the result of having no other options. Many of them repeated the same
Man, look at this shit. Look at this shit. That nigga delivering food in the flood. Come on, bro.
message. For young people from rural areas, there are very few paths forward. Many delivery workers spend the entire day staring at their phones waiting for orders. One worker said he was so anxious that even in his dreams, he was still delivering food. Food delivery is also dangerous work. The documentary included criticism from city residents over speeding, running red lights, and reckless driving by riders. But
Man, them niggas gotta get that shit done.
delivery workers said almost no riders avoid driving the wrong way at times. Some admitted that, when even getting enough food becomes difficult, life itself can begin to feel less important. Among riders, there is an unspoken understanding. You go out and work all day, and if you make it home, that's good for today. But whether you will make it home tomorrow, nobody can guarantee. Many also said the work had affected their emotions and communication skills, and that they had become used to swearing. One woman interviewed in the documentary had graduated from university and spent 7 years as a full-time mother. After returning to the workforce at age 35, she found she could not get a job and began delivering food instead. People familiar with the industry said delivery work was once mostly done by men, but more women are now entering the field. The documentary was quickly
And you know them motherfuckers gonna lose their mind. Them women gonna lose their damn mind. They can't handle the stress.
removed under
You got men out there crying and whining. "Whoa, Buddha, please give me save me, Buddha, give me strength, Buddha." You know damn well them women gonna lose their damn minds.
official orders. Still, reposted copies can occasionally be found online in China. On overseas social media platforms like X, the documentary continues to spread widely. One commenter said that after watching The Life of China's Food Delivery Riders in 2026 on YouTube, it felt like a true news documentary and showed the real value of journalism. X account Erica wrote, "This 28-minute documentary was too real, which is why it was deleted across the internet almost immediately."
Anyway. Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 7. And the Lord Yahweh thy God will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. And I don't know any one of these individuals, but we know what the fuck Moab has done to us. And plus over here, especially here in America, but over there in China, I don't know what to say, man. I can tell you them niggas catching hell. Oh well, I don't give a fuck. I pray for the elect though.
Performance, durability, affordability.
I mean, I don't know what to say, man. I'm just short with words right now. I just got a bunch of random videos that I don't know what to do with them, so I'm just gonna play them.
Only one place does it all. Harbor Freight.
Do you support Israel and the Jewish people? Now,
Fuck no. I don't give a fuck about no Amalekite.
Now, more than ever, Israel needs committed friends.
Our next story
Fuck them baby dick suckers.
is from France, where a shocking allegation has come to the fore. The Paris police are probing allegations that children as young as 3 years old were sexually assaulted or raped and denied food in schools. The scale of this abuse is staggering. Paris police are investigating more than 100 such allegations leveled against school monitors across 84 kindergartens, 20 primary schools and 10 daycare centers. School monitors are essentially non-teaching staff who supervise children during lunch, break time, naps and after-school activities. In France, they are a key daily presence for children between the ages of 3 and 11. This has become even more controversial as school monitors are not directly employed by schools or the education ministry, but by the local authorities. They're often not even professionally trained and they're hired on a casual basis and paid by the hour. Last week, 16 members of the staff working at the Saint Dominique School in Paris were taken into police custody in connection with allegations of sexual abuse. Since the beginning of this year, 78 school staff members suspected of sexual abuse have been suspended. And this is not all. Paris Mayor Emmanuel Gregoire, who revealed that he himself suffered sexual abuse in school, unveiled a $22 million plan to address this crisis. This entails investment in training of supervisors, redesigning sensitive areas in schools such as toilet facilities to prevent adults from being alone with children. The plan also includes establishing a hotline for parents. As the trial of a school assistant accused of sexually assaulting children from August 2024 and April 2025 commenced in Paris, parents' groups and lawyers of victims urged the government to take more stringent action.
It's very important to be here because it's very important for the government and for the whole society to be aware of what's going on inside our school, to be aware and also to take real decision to protect our children, which is not the case currently.
Now, if you look at France alone, an estimated 160,000 children suffer sexual assault or rape each year. This is a big problem in the United States and
Man. Yeah, but this is what happens when the earth... Let me just go ahead and get to it. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But this, what he's seeing right here is not no... This is not being rejoicing. Because the righteous is not ruling. Because right now the wicked are ruling. The point is, but when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn. And who is the wicked? Esau, Edom, so-called white man, but he ain't white, he's red, he's a baby dick sucking Jewish faggot nigger. Amalek. And this is what happens when these wicked ass niggas rule the world. All this shit. Whole bunch of shit going on.
UK as well, with over 500,000 children impacted by sexual abuse on an average annually. The scale of this crisis will startle you. As per UNICEF, over 1 billion children have experienced some form of sexual violence. Every 1 in 5 girls.
And guess what? A lot of shit going down in them Catholic churches. And priests out there doing shit to the kids. Then you got the Christian churches doing things to these kids. And then you got these synagogues of Satan, where them baby dick suckers be. They be doing shit to them kids. I don't know who else. But when it comes to Hebrew Israelites, you don't hear shit. You know, because there ain't nothing happen like that. No. But all these... Well, anyway. God damn, this shit is... I hate this world. But like I say, man, when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. Soon the righteous will be ruling. Won't be none of this shit happening anymore. Let's get to the next video. Breaking news, but this was 2 days ago.
Breaking news coming in from Moscow. Washington's decision to send 5,000 additional troops to Poland is triggering fresh alarm in Moscow, with Russia warning that Europe may be edging towards a dangerous new phase of confrontation. Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova said the deployment risks a qualitative escalation in tensions between Russia and the West. She warns Moscow will be forced to respond with retaliatory measures if NATO's military footprint continues to expand closer to Russia's borders.
The prospect of relocating U.S. military bases and contingents, as we suspect, from Central and Eastern European countries considered less trustworthy to those considered more trustworthy by the United States, including Poland, literally within striking distance of our country's western borders, is unacceptable. This would not only inevitably necessitate the forced adoption of military technical measures necessary to ensure the security of the Russian Federation, but would also result in a significant escalation of tensions throughout Europe, especially given the increasingly provocative stance of the United States European satellites toward the Russian Federation.
В отношении Российской Федерации.
The announcement comes directly from U.S. President Donald Trump, who says that his close ties with Poland's new elected conservative nationalist president influenced the move. Posting on Truth Social, Trump presents the deployment as a sign of Washington's commitment to Poland's security at a time of rising uncertainty across Europe. The decision surprised many observers because the White House has spent months reviewing America's true presence in Europe, with expectations growing that Washington could reduce its military role and pressure NATO allies to shoulder more of the continent's defense burden. Earlier, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance said that the troop deployment to Poland has been delayed, fueling speculation over decisions inside the administration about America's future military commitments overseas. Now, with thousands of additional U.S. troops heading eastward, fears of a deeper standoff between NATO and Russia are intensifying once again. For Poland, the move is seen as a critical security guarantee for Moscow. It's another sign that the West is tightening military pressure on Russia's doorstep, a development the Kremlin insists that it cannot ignore. So if you're just joining us right now, we're giving you breaking news, and that breaking news is Washington's decision to send 5,000 additional troops to Poland. It has triggered a fresh reaction and concern from Moscow, where the country's foreign ministry spokespersons say that this is a huge risk for Russia because essentially it's at the footsteps of Russia's borders, and they are very concerned about what would happen. Now, the international community, including the United States, for years was concerned.
All right. Come on, man. Let's get this shit started.
With the rise of social media, podcasting, and independent reporting, traditional news media is slowly losing its audience. It's because more Americans say they can't trust what they see on their TV screen, read in the newspaper, or what they hear on the radio.
You goddamn right.
A 2025 Gallup poll found only 28% of Americans said they have a great deal or fair amount of trust in newspapers, television, or radio to report the news fully, accurately, and fairly. That's down from 31% in 24 and 40% in 2020. 7 in 10 adults said they haven't had much confidence or no confidence in traditional news reporting. Well, today we're learning even more about a specific group of people who are turning out major media outlets. A new focus group found that black men are turning to other forms of media for news at a high rate. The focus group was conducted by the Democratic firm Navigator Research.
And one thing I'm going to mention, and one reason I believe this is happening because, shit, mainstream media, of course, it's full of garbage and shit, but also they always demonize the so-called black men. They always, and I mean, I don't know about the other tribes and stuff, but when it comes to the Southern Kingdom tribes, or, you know, so-called black men, we're always being demonized as the terrorists, the this, the that, the that, the this, the boogeyman, the unfit father, and all that bullshit. You see why we don't give a fuck about mainstream. From radio to TV to fucking whatever the fuck. And nothing but bullshit. And there's always some shit that caters to the fucking woman. Anyway.
Firm allowed Phil Lewis, senior front page.
That's why we just go to the YouTube. And they probably don't give a fuck about TV or any other radio shit no more. Because a lot of so-called black men are listening to probably the prophets of Yahweh Shema Shah. And also Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Well. They probably not mentioning that. That a lot of Latino men and Native Indian men ain't studying no fucking mainstream media. They don't give a fuck about that shit. Radio either. They looking at listening to the prophets of Yahweh Shema Shah. Or either other camps, Israelites. But either way.
Editor for the Huffington Post to watch the focus group. Phil joins us now to share what he learned. Phil, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Based on the results that you witnessed and you found from this focus group, what results or what stood out most to you about this?
Yeah, so great question. The focus group was about black men who had voted for Trump in 2024 and either voted for Biden in 2020 or were just Democratic leaning. Pretty much a lot of what the focus group was about was the Trump administration expressing concerns, specifically about Trump's leadership, the economy and inflation. But what I thought was really interesting was their input in their responses regarding the media. They all pretty much said, hey, we don't really go to the mainstream media, so it's CNN, and it's now to define our needs.
Jake ain't falling for this dumb shit no more. And what's coming from mainstream media. And like I said, I'm pretty sure they ain't counting the Northern Kingdom. Go and look at that Southern Kingdom.
We're going on podcasts. We're finding independent creators online on platforms like YouTube, Joe Rogan, and Roland Martin, things like these.
Yeah, the podcast and all that shit, the Bread Pill, or whatever you call it, Peel Up Crew, whatever.
To find their news. So I thought that was really interesting to me, and that's what I wrote the story about.
Phil, let me ask you.
When it comes to YouTube or the internet, you can choose whatever the hell you want to watch. When it comes to the news and radio, you can't choose this shit. Hell no, it's not on demand. They just give you what they think you need to listen to. Nobody's studying that shit, what's going on radio.
What were some of the main reasons, highlight them again if you could, that why these men said they were turning away from mainstream media to other forms of media?
Yeah, so, I mean,
because we've been so damn probably we so tired of being demonized through mainstream media.
I talked to a group of men from Georgia, Michigan, and North Carolina, and one of the responses, one of the men who was from Atlanta actually had said, mainstream media seems just too controlled, the large news outlets seem to be more controlled.
Yeah, it's too controlled, they're demonizing, and it's too faggoty too, that's another thing. They probably don't watch the shit because it's too faggoty. They keep pushing YMCA activity, all that LGBTQ shit stuff, all that British cigarette shit, that moist, soggy ass British cigarette shit. They keep pushing that stuff. And certain real men are like, okay, I'm tired of this fucking shit. You know.
And what they had to say, and they didn't feel as though they could trust what they were getting from these outlets. And so they preferred actually to focus on their local news outlets. Some of them mentioned their local news outlets. One of the respondents from Detroit said he really focuses on his local Fox station there in Detroit. So local news was pretty trustworthy for them, and also these independent creators on these social media platforms.
It's good to hear that they trust local news. Let me ask you, I'm curious, in the results of this, did age play a factor? I mean, were older men one way and younger men a different way?
Yeah, so great question. So I did have I saw a range of people that were involved in this focus group. And surprisingly, for example, the 55-year-old said, "Hey, I go on YouTube to find my news, and I rely on social media." And so I think social media is it plays such a heavy role in kind of our lives now. Like even older ones. Like I know my family, right? When I think about the older folks in my family, they're on Facebook all the time to find their news, right? So age actually didn't play that large a role, and I think that's what made the entire story, like the piece of it, I want to focus on how they were responding to the news and where they were finding it.
We have about 30 seconds left. Was there anything,
yeah.
did the men say there was anything that mainstream media could do to win back their trust?
Anything? Maybe stop lying and stop demonizing Israelites. You know? Stop pushing LGBTQ shit. And, you know, I don't know. Shit. Stop Amalek controlling the media. God damn it. It's his shit anyway, but fuck.
I think the main thing was more so just focusing on issues that they care about. But that was pretty broad. I mean, that could be anything. But they were mostly saying that, hey, we want to be represented. We want our story to be told kind of in the media.
Anyway, nobody's studying mainstream anymore. Everybody going to the internet, search for their information. They're watching podcasts and all that stuff. But eventually, soon like that shit gonna be plugged. All this shit gonna be plugged. Pulled. The plug gonna be pulled. Internet, TV, electricity, all that stuff. Let's get to the next video.
Their team continues to track storms across our area. Some farmers are now facing a familiar setback after heavy storms washed away thousands of crops.
Fields in parts of western North Carolina flooded with water and with debris. Our Naomi Popa shows us the lasting damage that water left behind.
This is 22 acres of land in Henderson County, once planted with beautiful corn. Now, just rocks, debris, and even trees.
I'm guessing probably around a $300,000 loss just in a matter of a couple of hours, which is hard to imagine.
A once fruitful field now taking its second major hit in less than 2 years.
This field had just been planted a couple of weeks ago, and then Monday night, we got about 6 inches of rain in 2 hours.
That's Linda Pryor, a third-generation farmer with Hilltop Farms. She's walking what remains of one of her fields. Unfortunately, this looks all too familiar.
We have farmed bottom land since farm started in 1939 and have never seen just back-to-back like this.
Terry Kelly is the director of the Henderson County Cooperative Extension and a tree fruit agent. He says Hurricane Helene left behind $150 million in agricultural damage in this county alone. Some farmers, like Pryor, were able to harvest crops from land hurt in the wake of the hurricane. But after this week's storm, raspberries, soybeans, corn, tomatoes, and some young apple trees are gone for the season.
It's hard, and it's hard to remind yourself that it's worth it and it's what you love and it's, you know, in your blood, but it's still hard. It doesn't make it any easier.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars now lost, and with gas, fertilizer, and the purchase of some plants rising, so is the cost to be a farmer. This land now riddled with new expenses. The future of new growth this season, unlikely. Kelly tells me it may take some farmers here in Western North Carolina up to 10 years to recover from Hurricane Helene. That's from borrowed costs and to make repairs to what's been lost. Here in Henderson County,
farm started in
I'm gonna say, this woman, does she got some fucking plastic surgery done? Oh, she just look old. Anyway, well, the Lord jacking up. That ain't the only place that's getting jacked up farmland. It's all going on all over the world, but I'm gonna just stick with America for right now. Spiritual Egypt. 2nd Ezra 15, verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. So what happened to ancient Egypt? It's happening again, but here in spiritual Egypt, America, Babylon the Great, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, America, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God Yahweh shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, speaking about those farmers. For their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and the natural disasters. And look, all that heavy rain came in and destroyed all her shit. Oh well. And it's going to create famine too. And if it keeps going on and on, but the Lord going to make it happen. And with a fearful consolation, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Don't, I'm messing up reading, I'm saying words that's not even there. Next video.
Agriculture struggling across the world. Now nature's giving us plentiful signs something's changed. Human behavior also changing. We're going to take a look at some insects and jump down to Antarctica. Let's try to make sense of all of this. First thing, human behavior. Well, we got this Strait of Hormuz closure, natural gas shortages across many parts of the world, and we have Karachi residents using gas-filled balloons amid shortages. Again, that's a human behavior change based on, well, shortages of something. I just want to know, when they put this, is it a fire risk? I would say so. A lot of people smoke in these countries still. So the gas is in the balloon. Like, how do you actually get enough pressure to be able to cook food? So that's another thing I have a question for. Do they have a way to pressurize that? It'll work for a minute or so, but then the pressure is quickly gone. So good luck with that. Also, we're seeing this hyperparasitism, where a tick is actually feeding on a tick. So the female is the large engorged one, and it looks like a male. These are deer ticks. We're hearing about ticks everywhere across the U.S. right now, and then we start to
Damn, I ain't never seen such. That's crazy, bro. Anyway.
See this strange tick behavior. They say it's ultra rare, but there's multiple photos coming out with this. Are these super aggressive ticks is the question, and where are they coming from?
Oh, Bill Gates' laboratory. If it ain't Bill Gates, it's coming from it, some Edomite or a Moabite. Shit, some fucking heathen. That's all I can tell you.
So I'm saying nature
coming from their laboratory.
They're showing us signs as well. And there's human behavior. Yeah, people are skittish, and you can just, people are feeling different. Something's off. Well, if your life cost is rising, every time you go to the supermarket every week or 2 weeks, you're gonna ask what's going on. At the same time, nature's behaving strangely. And then a friend of mine sent me this photo, got on an airplane, snapped the Financial Times. You go in Asia, you get these airplane newspapers for free when you get on. Iran energy shocks start to squeeze real wages in world's rich countries. So again, more behavior. How would you deal with this? Well, are you loyal to a brand, or does price matter? What they're finding is 60% of shoppers will just ditch a brand if it's an uptick in price, and if they can find something similar in a different store that fulfills the same need. So,
I mean, what the fuck does this got to do with anything? Alright, I'll just let it keep playing for a little bit.
all those billions and hundreds of billions spent on marketing and advertising out the window when it gets too expensive. And are you loyal to the brand? Look how many, whenever you go around the world, it's always the same. There's a Starbucks in every country. You can get Coca-Cola in every country. It's like a homogenous world now. But highlighted in blue below, So 62% of people earning less than $25,000 a year drop brands instantly to buy something cheaper that fulfills the need, compared to 52% at 100 grand or more. And that's a gigantic difference in income, but look, it's only 10% difference. So what is it? It's human behavior. People, when they have a chance to look around the corner and say, well, things might not be as stable as they could be, I think we're reverting back to times before when our society and our world wasn't as stable. You got to realize for the last 8,000 years, it was not stable. Safety was not there, food production was not there, trade was not there, opportunities for jobs were not there. That's why people migrated all over the planet. Over the last thousands of years, this is the most stable period of human history we've had in these last 200, over the last, say, 9,000, 8,000. So is that ingrained in us? Our DNA passed it down, like, hey, when things are, you see disruptions, you might want to, pull back on whatever it was. Spending now the way we use dollars, but perhaps it was consumption of foods or grains back 3,000 years ago. You just didn't eat as much. Like, hey, we see something coming. Maybe we'll only eat half meals or eat twice a day. I don't know. But something, again, this human domain, like a sixth sense type of thing, is kicking off here. And also looking at smartphone data, when I was doing the research for the report here, I found this interesting chart off Financial Times coming off that same newspaper. Could digital media be affecting birth rates? So check this out. The zero line, that dark gray in the middle, that is when cell phone or mobile phone, smartphone use began. And birth rates dropping off. Look at that, minus 40 down there in a lot of different nations. That is, I think, a 1-to-1 for me. I'm going to say yes, that is a direct cause. Now, also, speaking of food and different food choices, people are changing choices here. So we're looking at Chobani, which is quite the famous brand for yogurts and that sort of thing. Now, they're starting to put something on here about RBST milk is the same as non-treated milk. Here's what
I eat that daggone yogurt. So what the fuck? Milk from BST treated cows is not significantly different, huh? No BST, but what the fuck is this? Anyway.
BST milk is the same as non-treated milk.
What the fuck?
Here's what your financial.
Let me look that shit up, bro. What is RBST milk? Oh, an artificial grown hormone given to dairy cows to increase their milk production. Oh, but wait a minute. They say it's none. It says no RBST right here. But milk from BST treated cows is not. What is that? I don't know, man. I'm tired of this fucking world. Yeah, gas price expensive. I don't know what else. Oh, here they talking about. What is this?
This in cattle was. I had to look it up. And it's a recombinant bovine growth hormone where they use this in cattle in the U.S. Now, you notice right there in the paragraph, first approved for the United States by the FDA in 1993, but it's not used in European Union and Canada and some other countries.
Yeah. We gotta get the fuck out of here, bro. America is shit.
So as people switch in these food choices, then you're gonna have to either get what's there, and maybe that's the only choice.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna have to switch product, and a lot of people are moving to bulk.
But then soon you switch, they're gonna do the same thing too.
Food purchases already, and just preparing things at home a little bit different, learning different cooking techniques, and
yo, I'm eating some Triscuits. I don't see nothing harmful on the ingredients, but eventually, they're gonna do something to this motherfucker. They're gonna add some shit to this shit. Well, it already is on here. They just ain't put it on the label or put it on the box. But eventually, they will put something in here. This, that's bad.
Going back more like what I would consider old school grandma style. My grandma used to cook. They'd get bulk everything, and either it went in the pressure cooker or it got boiled for a while, and then it turned into food. We're gonna have to.
All right, whatever. Anyway, let's get to the next video.
Bad news. Your business is only.
Mr. Secretary, I have two questions for you, but just to follow what you said about the.
Well, you can call me doctor, so I only get one.
Well, I'll shoot for two.
Fucking devil.
You said that it's up to Congress. The president's face is on a $250 bill, but it is actually the Washington Post that's reporting 2 political appointees from the Treasury Department who have asked agencies to be ready to do that. Do you think politically it's a good idea to put his face on a $250 bill when people are struggling to afford gas and groceries?
I don't really understand this Washington Post article. That who hears from the Post? Yep. Terribly written, terribly edited, because basically what it says is that Treasury is following the law, and that we've created the bill, and that it's up to Congress, but that we follow the bill and it's up to. I didn't really understand what the story was.
That's his mugshot, I think. When he was locked up and they won't let him out, they had locked his ass up. That fake bullshit. Anyway, that nigga was a criminal.
Anyway,
he really had all them niggas a criminal, even this nigga.
Appointees aren't involved in that, 2 of your political appointees?
Yeah, of course, but we prepare for everything if it gets passed. Just like
anyway, these niggas, they joking about putting this nigga on making a $250 bill. I don't know, but anyway, they talking about this shit when they gonna get rid of the fucking bills. They gonna get rid of physical currency and roll out digital currency with the chip implants. The mark of the beast. So fuck all this. Let's get to the next one. Oh, and later on, what they say, this is suicide? Yeah, Jake. What it says, detainees are dying by suicide. And if it's true, I mean, it's Esau's fault. Well, this is judgment from the Lord, but Esau got Jake locked up in these prisons, losing their mind. What happened to him, he probably got raped by Esau or another Jake in the fucking detention center. Mostly, I believe Esau did something to these Israelites, and goddamn, these niggas fat as fuck. This fat fucker right here and this fat fucker right there, they all swole, red ass niggas. But anyway, not swole like muscular, swole like fat as hell. But anyway, I'm pretty sure one of these motherfuckers that had touched them and all that shit. I think one of them is an EMS, I don't know, firefighter. It gotta be something. If he ever really did kill himself, being locked up, man, come on, bro. You know it had to be something they did. Look at that shit. What is this? This shit looking like a straight up prison, cause it is.
ICE detainees are dying by suicide at an alarming.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's another thing. When it comes to an Israelite being found hung on a tree, or hung on a light pole, or hung on a 5 foot fence. How the fuck you get hung on a 5 foot fence? 5 foot fence? Yeah. Anyway, not no 7 foot fence, not no 10 foot, 12 foot fence, but a 5 foot fence. Anyway, shit. Anytime you hear about a so-called black man, Latino, Hispanic, Native Indian been found hanging, they always deem it as suicide. Ain't that something? It just like remind me of that one black dude they found that was hanging off of a tree in front or somewhere near the damn police department. On the property of the police department. And they are like, this is a mystery. It's an unsolved mystery. We're under an investigation to find out who's responsible for this. Meanwhile, the police department pretty much, I don't know if all of them are open 24/7, but damn, how the fuck a police department not detect somebody is in your property getting hung? Anyway.
Rate and a new Associated Press investigation is raising serious questions about the conditions inside America's immigration detention system. The investigation by the Associated Press, or AP as it is called, found that at least 10 immigration detainees have died by suicide since President Donald Trump returned to office in January of 2025. According to AP's review of ICE records, autopsy reports, police documents, this is the highest suicide rate ever recorded in ICE custody for a single fiscal year. And the numbers are stark. Since October, 7 suicide deaths have already been recorded, even though ICE historically reported just 1 or no suicides in most years. The 10 suicides account for nearly 1/5 of all 51 deaths in ICE custody since January 2025. The case of 27-year-old Brian Raogarzon has become one of the most disturbing examples. According to the AP investigation,
he keep doing all that kissing Rosaritas and you know, doing the cross thing and all that shit, and praying to Virgin Mary and Jesus Christos, the white man's bullshit, the Esau's bullshit, and then the Lord said, okay, I'm tired of this nigga. Kill that motherfucker. Yeah, if he going to commit suicide, yeah. Anyway, I can't find the words to say, but yeah.
Rao was being held in isolation at a Missouri jail.
And he's praying, and now all of a sudden, I don't know what this is. What does this say? He left a suicide note? I guess so. And yeah.
After contracting COVID-19, he was suffering from fever and chills, and records show that his request for mental health treatment had been delayed. Officials also stopped him from making his regular nightly phone call to his mother, desperate and distraught. Rao passed a note to a guard saying that he could not take it anymore.
And you think the guard gave a shit? Fuck no.
Less than an hour later, he was found unconscious in his cell. An autopsy.
But how did he kill himself? What could he do to kill himself? What could he do to kill himself? He slit his wrist. I don't see no blood in it. Well, not right now, but
he later ruled his death as a suicide.
By doing what to himself? How did he hang himself? Because he jumped in the bed. They ain't showing you shit. They don't want to show you, or at least tell you. Be like, U.S. is the champion of human rights. Yeah. They will be free in their own country. Self-deportation is the remedy. Well, people have been trying to deport themselves, but what happened? Esau tries to catch them and still throw them in prison. They start locked up in the United States. Why is that? So they can make more money off their ass. Just like prisoners in the United States, hell, they make money. Each head in prison is like, okay, for taxpayers, each head in prison is like, I don't know, how much does it cost them? Let me see, let me look up. How much does it cost to take care of a prisoner in America per year? I wouldn't say it. Okay, but it says roughly, it says average of $35,000 to $65,000 a year annually. Yeah, and it's taxpayers, out of taxpayers. And guess what? It's actually, let's say they'll tell you $65,000 to take care of each prisoner in a prison, but it's actually $20,000. They say 35 is actually 20. They making money off that shit. It's profit, bruh. A lot of people making money off this shit, off of your taxpayers' dollars. And you dumbasses thinking, oh, the best way is deportation. They try to, but guess what? They catch them. And they throw them in prison or jail, whatever the fuck. And guess what? The same person that having this comment right here, you gonna be next, homeboy. They gonna throw y'all. It ain't just gonna be immigrants, illegals. Shit, a lot of these folks really have more right to live here than you crackers. Really, truly do. Yes, I have to start that again. Because you niggas really don't have no right to be here. Really don't, because you sure ain't showing that you appreciate this land. Shit. But that nigga named Iron Eye Cody, that fake ass engine, shedding tears and shit. You know that nigga was well, I don't know. He said, they say he's a Sicilian, so he could have been an Israelite. He just played as a fake ass engine. But anyway, but shit, you know, talking about the remedy. No, get rid of Esau Edom is a fucking remedy. Amalek too. You musty ass niggers. Goddamn, that's the remedy.
The AP report
shows you clearly this ain't your rest, Jake.
Says that most of those who died,
Northern Kingdom, Jake, better snap out of it.
Were young men. 9 of the 10 were Hispanic.
Oh my goodness, Jesus Christos, Jesus Fest.
Detainees from Latin American countries, while one was a Chinese national. Their average age was.
I mean, if it's a Chinese national, you know, hey, they probably have something going on. I don't know.
just 32 years old. The findings also challenge President Trump's claim that those facing deportation are the worst of the worst.
Really? I'm guessing is this guy, the guy that got committed suicide, he's probably an artist, drawing and shit. And you see how neat his handwriting was. He's probably an artist. But they can't tell you how he killed himself. Oh man, that's even worse. Goodness gracious. Hey man, y'all niggas need to stop this shit. These niggas, the Northern Kingdom, y'all doing too much. Look, he got a statue of Jeebus, this red demon on top of the coffin. Y'all niggas doing too much, bro. You see this demon? The demon is even on top of the damn casket. Goodness gracious, bro.
7 of these 10 men who had died had no history of violent crimes in the United States.
The Northern Kingdom doing too much. This shit don't make no damn sense.
Many were being held on immigration violations rather than serious criminal charges. Detainees often face extreme stress after arrest, the fear of being returned to dangerous conditions in their home countries, and deep isolation caused by language barriers and limited contact with family members. In fact, many also struggle to understand the immigration system itself. Unlike people in the criminal...
And you know, another thing too, they try to do the right thing. Like say they go to the immigration, whatever kind of office is office. They got an appointment to go and handle their business, to straighten things out. And when they get there, here come the kidnappers. Yeah, they come and kidnap them and take them haul them off to the damn detention center. I'm like, it's a setup. That shows you, Israelite, this is not your rest, bro. Ain't nothing right. Nothing's not right here for you, because it's only built for Esau. But hell, these low-level Edomite devils, they catching hell too. And it's just the beginning for them niggers. But they about to catch it, bro. Anyway, man, let me get another video. But hold on. Let me read a scripture. Is this the right one? Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them. No, they are all of them. Yeah, that was right. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. Yeah, I mean, all you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, they got a place, and the speckled birds, they got a place for all of us. Prisons. And this whole fucking world is a prison to us. And especially here in America. Shit, you in a prison inside a prison. Plus, we in the prisons of darkness, the chains of darkness. These bodies, fleshly bodies. Yep. But when it comes to a prison house, a brick building and all that shit that's highly secured and reinforced with all kind of shit, they love throwing our asses in there. And hey, that's part of them curses. They are a prey and none deliberative for a spoil and none savory store. Yeah. We ready to get the hell out of here, bro. Y'all need to stop playing around, man. And I need to stop playing around too. Here come these niggers.
Because we're workers.
Hi, sweetie. They are absolutely, these people are absolutely stupid.
Hey, sweetie. We work for a living.
And I'm talking about both sides. I mean, they're both sides are stupid. And I can't wait to see these motherfuckers fighting with each other. Egyptians versus Egyptians.
I'll fucking hit you up for breakfast. I thought you said people should wear masks. Why the fuck are you mad? I thought people should wear masks. Why y'all looking away? This is what you want. You should be fucking proud of this, right? Shut down Delaney Hall. Free grab all. This is a good one right here. You guys gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. It's illegal. What are you tripping out? So they think we're pigs. We're American citizens, and they're calling us pigs. Fuck up. We got a woman down. This is the Proud Boys. You tell me who funded that. You know how many people lost their fucking life? You motherfuckers! Come from the bottom. Fucking asshole! Vet! Phony vet!
I'm so confused. What the hell is going on? I don't know, but we clearly see obvious there's a whole bunch of pissed off Babylonians. Mostly Edomites, and I love it. Fuck these motherfuckers. Luke chapter 12 verse 51. Suppose ye thou come to give peace on earth, I tell you nay. All you people that's talking about the Lord Jesus is all lovey-dovey. God is about love, love, love. Love, love, love. No, he ain't. He got love in his heart, but sometimes he gonna have hate in his heart too. Or I just say he's balanced. Or they are balanced. And they ain't no God and no Jeebus. It's Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. Suppose ye thou come to give peace on earth, I tell you nay, but rather division. Yeah. Shit. These motherfuckers divided. I love it. They so stupid. They some stupid cattle. They like moo, 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 bad, bad, bad. They stupid. Isaiah chapter 19 verse 2. Cows and chickens and farm animals got higher IQs than these motherfuckers. Heck yeah. They know what they need to do. They don't. Shit. Shit. Anyway, Isaiah 19 verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Mark chapter 3 verse 23. And he called them unto him, and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. And this bitch coming to an end. America. Esau Edom, rulership of Esau Edom, so-called white man, but he ain't white. He's raising his baby dick sucking Jewish fucking nigger. Amalek. Let's get to this video.
Do you have a plan for when the lights go out? That's the big question right now. New simulations are showing that most people do not. And that when this happens, it's going to be pretty hellacious here in America. And it's not going to take long per some of these simulations for everything to come unraveled. And for decades, infrastructure analysts, military planners, emergency preppers have been putting out warnings for this exact event. And it can come in several different ways. The sun could set off a CME, and we could have a Carrington event that would cripple this country. You could have a cyber attack from China or anybody at this point. It could be a staged event to cripple this country and bring it to its knees. You could have an EMP that would fry absolutely everything, and that, in my opinion, would be the worst case situation, because you wouldn't even have cars starting. Everyone would be on foot. Everything would not just be down, but everything would have to be replaced before it ever came back online. Much different than a cyber attack that kind of knocks us off for a little bit, regardless. When the grid goes down and the power goes out large scale in this country, I see it as being the end of America, as you know it, so to speak, here. Now, in one day, they say, this is going to turn bad when the lights go out. And that you should really have a plan, and you should not...
Did he say if the lights go out, or when the lights go out?
As you know it, so to speak, here. Now, in one day, they say, this is going to turn bad when the lights go out.
Oh, when?
And that you should really have a plan, and you should not get caught up in the things that we've warned you about for all the...
Yeah, don't get caught up in all the distractions. Just, and because you see, when they start this scenario, or of turning off the lights, and you know, we already gonna have like a lack of bread and such. It's gonna be all kind of shit, mayhem, chaos, and they gonna come with a solution. Cause see, they're distracting you on the chip implant, cause that's what it's gonna be. The clear plan is when, okay, there's gonna be chaos in the streets, and they gonna have like a smart city or a safe city that you can go to and dwell in. But the only way to enter into that bitch is have a chip implant. That's the only way you go have to enter into that bitch. Get food, water, and a bed, and so air conditioner or some warm and some HVAC going on in your room, in your smart, in your little box. Living in a smart city, you just gotta have the chip implant, and then you can be staying in that bitch safe. Heck yeah. That's how they gonna get people. Get some food and water and all that shit.
Years getting caught up in the fights at the grocery store for certain supplies. And this,
before that, it's gonna be chaos. Boy, it's gonna be fucking chaotic.
And that most people are going to be lacking a thing or two, but it's the large-scale supply that you need to have on hand. Food, water, primarily.
Well, first off, the large-scale, well, that when you say supply, but the thing you need to do is seek Yahweh by Shema Shah and repent. Yeah, and how you seek the Lord? By listening to his prophets. The prophets of Yahweh Shema Shah, starting with GMS, and there's other camps speaking the same truth too. I'm not GMS, but I'm just a camp by myself. Camp, damn, what's the name of my camp? Goes by this channel. Praying and begging for mercy. Oh shit, I shouldn't have done it. Well, anyway, praying and begging for mercy daily. 144. That's the name of the channel. That's the name of my camp. Back to the video.
Do you?
Damn, I didn't want to be that far back. I think I left off at 2 minutes.
Thing of ordinary life becomes clear. That the panic starts to set in, big time, and you start to see certain things happen. Fuel distribution networks cease to function almost entirely within the first few days.
We getting there.
And by day 3,
we getting there. Well, prices are being up high as hell, but they still shipping out fuel. But soon they gonna cut that shit out.
the panic sets in large scale across the board regardless. Doesn't matter what simulation they run, by day 3, large scale, it hits the fan. Hospital generators begin to fail around this time and run out of gas. You have sanitation systems collapsing.
And then there's gonna be a lot of pessimists when that shit fails. Sanitation, trash, sewage
and everything backing up, and this leads to outbreaks of diseases and everything else, all within the first week here. You have refugee movements intensifying, and you're going to start to see groups banding together. Some that had never thought or planned for it, they're just going to do it by default. And some of the larger, more ravenous groups are going to start taking over certain areas.
So I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this shit. It's like people with these face masks on. The baby got a face mask. They got a long gun rifle right here. Shit. They got a little, I don't know what the hell else. They got dreads and shit. But it's like, look like it's AI generated.
They may not. Go on the move at first because they're going to try to lock down a stronghold, but then you're going to have to go out and scavenge for goods, and this is where people are going to be engaging in massive warfare. The lights are going to be out every evening when the sun goes down. It's going to be a darkness that people have never witnessed in this country, and by the time you get to day 6 and 7, the unraveling is so bad. All the National Food Reserve has been wiped out. Healthcare systems do not function. Large urban centers are uninhabitable, all within the first week. Armed territorial groups begin replacing local government authority, and this is going to happen. If people don't have a plan, they're going to be in bad shape. A lot of this, I feel, is going to happen on the fly because people did not prepare in time.
This guy, he keep talking about you got to have a plan, got to have a plan. What if your plan don't fucking work? I mean, the plan of getting right with Yahweh Shema Shah, it always worked. It always worked. And I don't want to doubt it. It always worked. But I always try to build a spiritual mental relationship with the Lord and repent. Doesn't hurt to do so. And then we just, hey, be patient and see what the Lord gonna do. But there's nothing wrong with getting certain things. But don't put your daggone faith in that shit. Because everything can fail, but not the Lord. All these material things, these carnal things always fail. It age, it gets stolen, get broken. It always fail. And I know if anybody get tired of me talking, I don't give a fuck. Nigga can kick rocks. Get the fuck on. Unsubscribe, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Hey, this message is for the elect only, the elect of Israel, the listeners of Yahweh Shema Shah.
And so if people are going to be thrown into this position. So I see this as happening. I see it happening sooner than later because they need this for the reset. And they want the reset. How they go about doing it, yet to be seen.
They also want that chip implant inside your ass, the mark of the beast.
I would think that a cyber attack would work out best for them at this point. Something I would have a plan for.
Because an EMP, I mean, if an EMP shorted out any circuits and all that stuff, then there go your computer. They can't spy. Like, they want to have all these devices to spy on you. You know what I'm saying? That would eliminate the purpose of all that. You know what I'm saying? So EMPs is, I was like, man, I got gas. I don't know about that. So that'd be stupid if they deploy an EMP and they'll fry anything that's not protected or EMP proof or whatever. And then now they can't spy on all these Americans, listen to what they doing and watch them through their camera phones or whatever the hell. But anyway, that's what they're. Hey man, the discussion about the grid going down is happening more and more. It's being mentioned more and more. Let me get a scripture. Second Ezra chapter 16 verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? And them days we getting closer, man. Ezra's getting them visions from the Lord, and it's showing him that some great evils is coming. It's right around the corner. Oh, fuck the corner, it's right up the street. Anyway, and Ezra's like, man, who gonna save me those days? Well, it's gonna have to be the Lord. And plus, he's reincarnated. He's here today, doing in the same light, prophesying, warning you Israelites on what's coming and what's about to go down, and who to seek for all these troubles to protect you. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning is the beginning of famine and great death. The beginning of wars, World War III, class wars, civil wars. It's going down. And the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent for scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn for their wickedness, nor be mindful of their scourges. So it's about to get bad out here, and some Israelites not going to take heed. But fuck them. They were meant to be destroyed. But you want to hope and pray you don't be like them niggas. So best thing to do is seek Yahweh Shema Shah by seeking his prophets and take heed what it say and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Shah by praying Yahweh Shema Shah, praising Yahweh Shema Shah, worshiping Yahweh Shema Shah, fearing Yahweh Shema Shah, and repenting of Yahweh Shema Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and nothing but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah, keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep your faith and your trust strong, Yahweh Shema Shah, and stay humble. And for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust strong, Yahweh Shema Shah. Stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order, Yahweh Shema Shah. Peace and bless to the hopeful elect, and all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. And before I say anything, I don't know, I forgot about this video, so I'm gonna play it.
Alright guys, so I'm feeling compelled to talk about this prophetic dream I had about 5 years ago in 2021. I actually shared it on
Joel chapter 2 verse 28. And it shall come to pass afterwards that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions.
my old TikTok. I still have the original video, but let's get into it. So back in 2021, I had this prophetic dream about the United States, and in my dream, it was so fucking chaotic in the dream. Like, everybody was trying to escape. There was hella shortages. There were big ass drones flying under the house, like we were being surveillance, and everybody was trying to leave and everybody was trying to escape.
Sounds like Jacob Trouble going full throttle, 9,000 RPMs to the engine blow up.
And the states, Florida and California, came up. And at the time, I thought, okay, maybe that's where the shortages was going to start, until maybe like a year or two ago, where all these things started happening in Florida and California. California with the fire, Florida with all the laws and policy things they had going on. Either way, at the time, I knew that once the events happened in California and Florida, that was going to be the start of all this chaos that was to come in the United States or whatever. And I was telling people that they need to plan on leaving the United States. And if they plan on staying in the United States, they need to plan on growing some food and like making sure they have survival skills, because it's going to get real.
And definitely getting right with Yahweh Shema Shah and repent. But of course, most people ain't going to mention that.
Here regardless. And I was talking about how all of these things needed to happen because the systems have to fall in order for new systems to come. It's time for the systems to fall. So everybody's panicking about the systems that are falling, but it literally just has to. Like, it has to. Every empire has a fall, and right now the United States is in its fall.
Yeah, sure is. She right about that. Matter of fact, let me get a scripture on that before I leave. Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver. And you know what? Alright, I was gonna get something else, but that was shorter. But I'll read this. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, talking about America, and deliver every man his soul be not cut off her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her recompense. Babylon, America, have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of a wine of philosophy, and therefore the nations are mad. They go on crazy. Babylon, America, is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Comfort her, take balm for her pain, so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Talking about America. But she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone to his own country. So people are leaving out of here. This bitch is through. And it's going to get worse when the nukes come. And they're going to come for anybody that's on the Lord's hitting shit list. For her judgment reaches on the heaven and is lifted up even to the sky. So even if, and this destruction comes to America, there's going to be destruction going on all over the world. In certain places around the planet. Yeah, and the Lord going to jack y'all niggas up. Mainly you Israelites. Well, really, everybody. The heathens, definitely, for sure. But for you Israelites, hey, this is your time to try to seek the Lord, man. And get right with the Lord and repent. Do the best you can do for Yahweh by Shema Shah. Yep. And that's all I got to say. But anyway, Shalom.